significant figures that you ever looked up to growing up to like lead you into your career paths? Because I don't see much representation until I got into community college, and that was the first time I saw a Filipina teacher like representing. It was really impactful for me. And then, experiences.
Yeah, I think we all had met somebody or ran into somebody in our life that helped us lead to the decision that we would work in this particular field. For me, I can't really say who it is, just because there's so many people. But if there was one particular standout, it probably was the department chair from Sacramento State that got me into it, because he was the one that actually showed the most care. As I mentioned earlier, in the Department of Ethnic Studies at Sac State, the faculty really do care for you, and they want to see that you do well. He was the one that showed me the most love out of all the other departments that I went through. Let me give you a list. I declared a business major first going to Sac State. Then I didn't like working with the faculty there. I went to English, didn't like working with the faculty there. Went to engineering, didn't like the faculty working there. So I tried out ethnic studies, and just because I took an Asian American history class, and I had it. Switching majors required you to speak with the department chair at the time. So I set a meeting with him, and his name was David Leon, and he was the department chair at the time, but he was also the faculty of the Chicano Studies program there. But because he was the department chair, I connected with him automatically, and the generosity that he showed me with accepting me into the program, despite all my other failed experiments, I guess you could say. I really genuinely felt like somebody in the department had actually cared for my well-being and cared for how well I did. And it was just because of that particular instance that I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do ethnic studies, because I like the fact that I'm going to school and these people aren't treating me like strangers. So I think he'd probably be the most significant one.
Fourth grade teacher who was a white male, I guess, was one of my heroes. I didn't really meet any that were Filipino. I haven't yet. I'm still looking. I did meet a bunch of people that really inspired me in the School of Education here at Davis. Michelle Fuertes. Yeah, lots of them. Most importantly, though, I think is Rebecca Ambrose, who is pushing me to apply for the PhD program, which I think I might in 5 years. But other than that, no. No, I think that's why it's so important that we're in these positions.
Yeah, I guess I might say something similar, although like a lot of the motivation came from, if you went to like a really kind of diverse high schools, like I saw a bunch of people who were kind of doing the most to really kind of get after the job, whatever it is that they wanted to do, go to med school, go to dental school and stuff. So that was not even like having kind of any kind of like faculty kind of mentors and stuff. It's just kind of the group of people I was around kind of in high school and even in college and stuff too, where it's like everybody was motivated to kind of go and whatever, take the next step to what it was. And for some people, like I said, it was med school, dental, whatever, and for me it was here and stuff. So kind of who you surround yourself with, I find, is pretty important. And my friends were really kind of inspirational for that, because I saw them doing the work, I saw them reaping the rewards of that, and that was really motivational to like get your ass in gear and go do the things you need to do so you can get into grad school and succeed at it.
Oh, I had something in my head. I forgot. I don't remember. What was the question?
A significant figure that, or something that has impacted you towards your career path.
I think one, there's very few API women in higher ed. However, there were 2 people in my last year at Davis who really pushed me. Thanks, Joe. So supportive.
That's what we did.
So one of them was Julie Agosto, who now works as an assistant director at EOP. And she was one of the first people who was like, what are you going to do after you graduate? I was like, Julie, I don't even know if I'm going to graduate. So I think her like kind of pushing me to think about life after college, student affairs, things like that. Then the other one was Dr. Rich Shintaku. He's still here on campus, has a different role, but he used to work more with students at that time. And I would meet with him based on my role in the SRC. And he was like, oh, you're graduating, right? And I said, yeah. He said, what are you going to do after you graduate? I said, I don't know, but Julie told me to maybe consider student affairs, but I don't know what that is. Super nonchalant, just like, And he was like, well, you really should consider student affairs because there's very few API women in student affairs, and I think that you could really contribute to this field. So I think they really like pushed me to think about it more. Then a lot of my faculty in my program were amazing, dope, Latina women, scholars, practitioners, like super engaged in community work, really amazing. And one of them actually was student director of SAFE in like 2003. So that was pretty amazing. Like she was actually Hmong. Just to see like that the work in the SRC could actually lead to like this long career of research and facultyship and professorship, you know, was pretty amazing. So I think those were a couple of things that really, that's the only way I can explain it. I have no words today. I've been talking so much.
We're going to take one more audience